Thanks for joining me as I travel the world, going from fine dining through to street food and local specialties, all in an effort to find the world's best seafood. Today I'm in Lima, Peru at Maido, one of the world's top 50 restaurants if you believe the list of restaurants. This is, I think, number 4 or 5. Really cool setup. It took me ages to get a table. I was sitting at the bar because I was by myself, and it has an amazing selection of seafood. You can see the crab legs, tuna, salmon, everything, as well as all kinds of shelled things. We've got snails and abalone and a lot of stuff that's a little bit unusual. Now, this isn't just a seafood restaurant. This is a Peruvian fine dining. So all of theirs are based on the Amazon. You have different tasting menus. Of course, I'm going for the 15 courser, and I'll be adding some extra things to it. But by world standards, the prices are actually pretty amazing. They also have a full menu of sashimi and different dishes. And just take a look at those scallops. Now, this whole video is going to be voiced over because it was actually really noisy in there. But I have to say the food stood out and it didn't bother me. That, by the way, is the chef of the restaurant. I'm so uncultured. Every time a sommelier is talking about the wine, I'm just politely nodding, not really knowing what they're talking about, waiting to be able to taste it. Anyways, this is the first tiny pouring of paired wine. That's the whole serving they gave. And this is the second drink. Well, they come together actually. It's a cocktail, and this is for the first 2 dishes, which are both snacks, as you put it. Okay, here we go with the first snacks. This is corn and some other vegetables with sausage on top to eat with the fingers. And in the top here, this apparently is some kind of chicken skin that we serve with this sauce that's made mostly from ginger. Wow. It's a lot of decoration, but not a lot of food. Okay, I literally just had my first bite, and these are 2 things that it was 1 single piece of chicken skin. What? Wow, okay. But I have to say, even from that first one bite, this is not your normal avant-garde throwing together ingredients. That chicken skin is so light, and that sauce is so punchy. It's like their take on Hainan chicken, the chicken with the gingery oily sauce, but really good. Just literally like a gram. Next up, time to try the cocktail. Super citrusy. Try this guy. Okay. Deceptively mild. Even the sausage on top, really mild. Good, but not really blowing my mind. Next up is a North Italian sparkling wine.
Churro. Churros is named from the Amazon. It has dale fish, which is a type of fruit in the Amazon. And ponzu. Recommendation: take the skewer, eat the churro, and finish with the spoon.
Okay, thank you. You heard all that. Well, servings are half the size of the smallest I've seen anywhere, which is fine. I could be having 50 tastes at lunch, but just factor that in when you're thinking about the price proposition. So here we go, pulling the little guy out of the top, and that itself is the snail. Really interesting. Using the local ingredients from Amazon, mixing that with Japanese-inspired dishes. Loving it. Okay, back to voiceover. It got too noisy. And who comes up with these crazy pairings? This is Peruvian Pale Ale in sweet American style, paired up with limpet ceviche, served with a powdered, it's based on corn, but a freeze-dried little concoction underneath there. It's quite amazing. So many of these fine dining restaurants are just completely avant-garde, like it's like modern art, weird for the sake of being weird, not that it actually works. But my God, here, even by one of the first courses, one of the appetizers, it was clear this was a real world-class meal and something that was really, really outstanding. Everything, whilst it's unusual and pushing the boundaries in technique and pairings, it is based around what tastes amazing, and it's blowing my mind so far.
Now, judge me if you want, but this is a dish I actually ordered off the menu to be added into my set menu. It sounded fantastic, and this is with truffle oil, fish eggs, some type of local fresh fish, and then at the back here, that's potatoes. Judge me if you want, and they gave me a little bit extra pale ale to go with it. It's a tiny burger that's fish and dressing, all made from ingredients in the Amazon. And when I say tiny, it's not because I'm just a fatty, it's this big.
Now this is another deceptively tiny dish. This is a single gyoza served in the hot pan, and it comes with a semi-spicy ponzu dressing with chilies from the Amazon, and it's paired up nicely with a German Riesling, something that I normally will have with seafood because it's usually a little bit sweet, but here it worked a treat. Here we have another tiny little drink. This is a small batch sake from Japan made by some monks. You can see it's actually in the wooden cup that normally would be overflowed, but this is just a tiny little quarter pour inside, and this is pairing up with calamari with ponzu dressing. You can see the ponzu sauce is by far the outstanding element there. And then a scallop nigiri with a little rice cracker on the side, outstanding. And you can see here they're using a lot of liquid nitrogen in the kitchen. Next up is this palm from the Amazon, served up with a tiny Amazon fish and a wine or sweet white wine from Catalonia, served on this gigantic dish. Presentation's amazing and the texture was just outstanding. Okay, let me cut in here. You can hear just how noisy it is here. Whilst the food here is outstanding, the service was just okay and the atmosphere was like a casual diner. If it was fine dining in those regards, this would definitely be like a top 5 or 10 in the world in my mind. The food is just so good. So good, in fact, I already asked the chef if they can try and squeeze me in to come back for dinner again tonight. Let's get back to the food. This is one of their interpretations of quay, guinea pig, and it's like basically pork belly, but you see they've made the skin into walls of a cube there. This could be greasy, it could be heavy, it could be fatty, but my God, everything is just so nicely balanced. It's amazing, probably the best quay I've ever had. Next up, this is their version of soba, but it's actually made from a red potato. Peru is famous for its thousands of varieties of potato. This one's made from one called sacha, but that's not the dish, that's just showing you what the noodles look like uncooked. This is the dish, served with crab and crab innards in a half crab shell served on ice. Amazing. This next dish is their version of sushi earth. You can see it's got some delicious beef there with a full little quail egg on it. You can see the wood there is burned, and this one is sweetbreads. So they actually fire this one at the table to finish off the dish, and it's all meant to have that lovely char. And it's a special type of wood that's actually giving off a smell as they hit it with the blowtorch here. Quite a different experience to have your sushi cooked like that right there in front of you, but you know, it's all part of the theatrics of dining at this kind of a restaurant. Next up is one of their signature dishes. Look at how pretty this is. Who thought that you could make beans look so beautiful? This is basically beans and avocado. They call it regional beans. It's avocado cream, cilantro, a bunch of different beans, ponzu gel, crispy quinoa, and coffee crumble. Now this is another dish that I added. This is their slowly poached egg. It came in a really earthy broth, just, oh, unbelievable, so delicious. Back to the set menu, this is their Wagyu short rib cooked for 50 hours. This also comes with egg yolk, fried rice and Amazonian chili, and this one was paired up with a Pinot Noir. And then finishing off, this is their signature dessert, cacao. It's all the different types of cacao. So it's 70% chocolate, it's got yuzu, shika shika ice cream, different mochis in there. Just an amazing way to finish what was honestly one of the most outstanding meals I've ever had. I'm not even a dessert person, but none of this was left. The seafood elements through this course were all outstanding, but everything was. The service and atmosphere are not at a world 5-star level, but the food absolutely is, and the price is so reasonable for what you're getting. The damage, this one came in at around 200 American dollars. That's for the 15-course tasting menu, plus the 2 courses I added and the matching wines. Now, at a lot of other restaurants that are in the top 20 in the world, you'd be looking at $600 or $700 for a meal like that. I know we're talking crazy money, but this was a crazy meal. I will go back there if I get the opportunity. If you're in Lima, do check it out. Highly, highly recommended. Please do like and subscribe, share this with your friends, and join me on my future journeys to find the world's best seafood.